Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video we will be doing yet another reading vlog. I just finished a different reading vlog. I'm currently in the middle of, let me show you, A Bond So Fierce and Fragile. So I am currently so obsessed with this series, so I really want to continue this. But we are nearing the end of the year. It is currently 10th of December when I'm filming this, and I know this vlog will just continue until I have to upload it, but it is none other than me trying to finish my yearly TBR. I have the stacks over here. I have one book that I do not have physically, but it is December's book club book. It is Indigo Ridge by Daphne Perry. I read Shield of Sparrow this year, and it is one of my favorite romantasy of this year. And I thought, you know what, let's read her contemporary romance. I think it's like mystery romance though, so I'm really intrigued for that. And the second one that I have to finish is Dracula. I told myself I want to try and finish this book, and I will finish this book. I have been making quite a bit of a progress. I have not filmed myself filming it whatsoever, but whenever I do have time and I feel like, you know what, I can read a chapter, I picked it up. I am now halfway, I think, into the book, so this is just going to be a book that I will be picking up whenever, like sporadically. I will not just sit down and try to finish like 200 pages of this, because I think it's quite impossible when it comes to like specifically this classic. I've never read any other classic, so I cannot tell you my experience, let's just say it like that. But with Dracula, I really cannot read longer than 50 pages. I feel like I have to just read something else, or else I'll be in a little mini reading slump, which I can tell you I am currently in a mini reading slump. That's why I really just want to read this, like the third book in the Compelling Fates saga. Okay, I'm dropping everything. Yeah, I binged the first and the second book the past 2 days. I think safe to say, I think this series might take me out of my reading slump. But again, the fourth book is not out yet, and it's out on the 17th. Maybe we can put it into this vlog as well. I'm not sure. But I think either I'm going to put a hold on this. I know I said I want to try and finish this. We shall see. Okay, this is a contender that I could read. If I'm really in a reading slump, then I'm in a reading slump and I read that. If not, obviously I'm going to try and finish my TBR. The TBR, I think you probably already know. Like I said, the first one was Dracula. The second one is a really thick one. It is 1120 to 63 by Stephen King, which is my first Stephen King's book. Am I nervous? Absolutely. And the font is so tiny and is 700 page long. No, sorry, 750. Yeah, I want to try and film all this in a week, which is quite unrealistic, I think, because considering how thick some of these books are. I mean, like, first of all, I think Dracula is just like a challenging read. Stephen King, hopefully, is so good that all I want to do is read this, and I'm just cannot stop, like, read it, like what happened to the Compelling Fates series. But the next one is, I know I'm gonna read quite fast, but I'm not ready for the mental destruction. It is Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros, so I will try and read this. I know there is a cliffhanger in the end, and I hate a cliffhanger when I cannot continue it. Obviously, I don't know. I feel like even Rebecca Yarros said that she's not going to continue the series in the next few years. So, yeah, I'm just going to have to live with whatever happened in the end of this. So, yeah, that is that. Moving on to the last one. So, I have like around 5 books here. I know. House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas, which is the start of the Crescent City series. I think this is also quite long. It's 800 pages. It is 800 pages. I really hope that this is like Throne of Glass or like ACOTAR, that I can just fully immerse myself in it, and I'm just gonna binge this. That is the hope in starting this book. So we shall see if I get to that. But I do really, really, really want to finish this pretty soon. The thing is, I think this vlog will go up quite late in bookmas, so I do have time, but I do not have that much time. I just need to go ahead and read this. But also, in addition to bookmas, it is super busy. I've just been editing and posting and filming and just like doing the grind. So yeah, I think I'm not just in a reading slump, I'm also in a life slump in a way, because of how just busy the season are. But I think in general Christmas is pretty busy. I have so many things to do socially. My social battery is running out. But either way, I will try and finish all this, like one, two, like I said, 5 books. True, I already counted this. I am so intrigued in picking up all these. It's just that it's quite daunting. That's why. But yeah, anyway, that is the plan for this vlog. I don't know what else I have in mind. I do want to do my Bramley Hedge winter puzzle, although it's quite difficult, I feel like, or it's not as easy as I want it to be. I really want like a 500-page piece puzzle. But I do not have any 500-piece puzzle, I think. I'm just gonna start it. We shall see if we finish it. The thing is, some of these books I do have in audio, so I think it might be good for me to just like pick it up on audio if I need like some kind of change or an immersive reading. You never know. But I do have the audio for all 4 books. I do not have the audio for Indigo Ridge, but I think it's quite a short book either way, so I'm gonna be reading that. But I do think I want to finish it in a week if possible. Obviously, if it's not possible, then you guys will not see this for Bookmas. You guys will see this probably in the new year. So yeah, I do have 2 weeks, I think, roughly. Not 2 weeks. Oh gosh, in 2 weeks is 24th. Okay, I think maybe I'm releasing it on the 24th. I'm not sure. But I am filming this so that I can just focus on other books that I really want to read. So let's go ahead. Before I start rambling and making this vlog unnecessarily long, let's just go ahead and read one of this. I think I want to start with Indigo Ridge. If I'm not sure what I'm gonna start with, but I think as if for now, I'm not sure what I'm gonna pick up first. But you guys will see what I'm gonna pick up first, in a bit, probably in the next clip for you. So let's go ahead and start this vlog. Hello, guys. I have just finished reading Dracula. I know. I feel like it is quite an interesting story about vampires. I feel like some of the characteristic of current day vampires are pretty different to Dracula. For example, Dracula needs to like recharge himself in a way in his soil on his land soil. I guess he's from Transylvania, right? So he wants to invade England and makes like obviously more vampires, I guess, in a way. So he ended up shipping 50 boxes of Transylvanian soil to England, which I found quite crazy. I feel like whenever Jonathan goes back from Transylvania to England, in his state of being like sick or trying to heal from his wounds, it was quite boring afterwards. Up until chapter 17, I think it was. Or I read chapter 17 a few days ago. And after that, it started getting really good because we have like this band of people who's trying to banish Dracula from England, or who's trying to end Dracula, right? So Dracula actually got banished in a way, or like they defeated Dracula in England. So to do revenge, he targeted Mina, which is like the only female in the group. And this men, they're like, oh, Mina, such a sweet soul, so on and so forth. She's so weak. We, as strong men, we need to defeat Dracula for poor Mina because Mina is such a sweet soul, so weak, meek, and whatever, right? I don't know about that bit. But after that, so Dracula attacks Mina. And Mina is in this in-between state of like almost being a vampire, but not quite. So like Dracula bites her. And the thing is, this is what I was confused at, because I think I'm just going to talk full spoiler with this. In the end scene battle with like, I think it was, so it was like Morris and Jonathan, I think. So Morris stabbed Dracula and he got his wounds, he died. And Jonathan slashes his throat. And because Dracula died, his influence on Mina is gone. And because she didn't die, she didn't become a vampire because there's no transformation happened, so to say, because you didn't do like full transformation. In order to become a vampire, like Dracula needs to bite you, or like a vampire needs to bite you. And then once you die, then you become like a full-fledged vampire, full transitioned, so to say, right? So that was the one thing I was confused with, because like, wait, Mina was about to be a vampire. Dracula was defeated, and how is she in the epilogue? Because the epilogue is like 7 years later, and they named their kid after Morris, which is like, because he died like defeating Dracula, so to say. So I feel like it could have been stated quite like a bit clearer in a way. I was also like really not intrigued in like Lucy's story whatsoever. Of course, it like helped with Arthur's background, how we know Van Helsing, how we know like Dr. Seward, I think his name. And I don't really quite remember how we met Morris, but Morris is like the American guy, I think, if I'm not wrong. Or is it Dr. Seward? Anyway, I feel like this book, I've been reading it since beginning of October, and now it's mid-December, so I am forgetting some information that I feel like could benefit me at the end of this book. But I feel like this book is very slow. In the middle, I almost lost interest, and I feel like, you know what, I'm gonna put it down and start over in the beginning, or like October next year. I'm so glad I finished it, because now I'm done with my first full-length novel, I guess, because I don't know if 1984 is really a full-length classic, but either way, I think it was really interesting as well, the point where Dracula can shift, or like shapeshift into anything, not just like bats. Like, I thought Dracula can only shapeshift into bats, but apparently in the book he can also shapeshift into a wolf and whatever he wants, I think, if I'm not wrong. I know he for sure can be like a wolf or a bat, but I found that so interesting. That's so contradicting with like werewolves in a way. And also the fact that he can control the weather, like bring rain, hail, wind, whatever it is, was quite interesting. I feel like. But yeah, I don't know what I would rate Dracula. I feel like it's not that high, but I have high hopes for Pride and Prejudice and Anne of Green Gables. So we shall see that next year. But now we're moving on to our next book in the TBR. As you guys still remember, we have four books in the TBR. I think the next one that I want to start might be 11/22/63 by Stephen King, because I have the audiobook for this, and apparently the audiobook is meant to be pretty good. So I feel like I want to pick it up just a little bit. But something that I do want to read, like only physically, although I have the audiobook for this as well, is House of Earth and Blood. Maybe I do like a little bit of immersive reading with this, but we shall see. And then I do still have Indigo Ridge. Oh, so we have 4 books. And I think Indigo Ridge, I do not have physical copy nor the audiobook. So I shall pick that one up maybe after this or in the middle if I need like a pick me up, because both of them are like 700-page long. So it is quite a challenging read. But I think between the two I would prioritize Crescent City. So maybe I'll start that tonight. But I do want to continue playing Stardew, which means I'm going to listen to the beginning of 11/22/63 and then maybe read the rest of it, maybe. We shall see. But that is the plan. I just wanted to update you with Dracula because I feel like this is quite a moment. I finished my first full-length novel. Not full-length novel, but like full-length classic. So yeah. Does this put me off classics? Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know if it put me off. I feel like the beginning and the end was so good and the middle could be so much shorter. It could be definitely like 200-page long. I would have been like happy and I would have loved. I don't know about love. I would have liked it more, I think. Like I said, about Lucy, I could not care less about Lucy. So, yeah, that is the verdict. I'm going to continue with my reading and playing Stardew Valley. So, yeah. Anyway, I shall update you whenever I do have updates. I will give you initial updates on both, though I'm not going to try and binge either of them super fast. But, yeah, that's the plan. I just started the first page and I think I love Stephen King's writing style. I started reading probably like 2-3 paragraphs. It was so good. Like, I understand the Stephen King's hype now, I think. At least, like, yeah, I do understand it. If the writing style of all his books are like this, I listened to it and I laughed because he was such a sarcastic guy. Like, I mean, I don't even know his name yet. I just know that his ex-wife is called Christy and that Christy is leaving him. That's it. And that he has a non-existent emotional gradient. Oh my gosh, guys. I'm speechless. This book is already pretty good. And people said that this book is really good. So I have high hopes that this could be like a 6-star read. We shall see. But yeah, I just thought I had to update you because that was such a banger way. That was such a good way to start this book. But yeah, let's continue on reading this. I am here to give you a reading update because I have read quite a bit today, I think. So, the first one is the book that I have been reading for quite a while. It is The Sword of Kaigen. I am now, I want to say, almost halfway in. I made quite a progress. I think I started on page like 100 something and I ended today in like 277. So it was quite a reading session. Do I love this book? Yes. It is so epic. I don't think I've read anything quite as like epic in a way. And I mean, I've read many epic fantasy stories, but this feels like a true epic story about like family, about how, but pretty much we just learn more about the mom's background and it was epic. And I know I use the word epic a lot, but this is like, that's the one adjective I think I would describe this book. And if you love like a fast paced book, this is it. I love it so much. I really don't want to stop. We just experienced our first battle. I mean, we are still in the middle of our battle. We're still in the middle of the first battle, but the battle is like the point of view where like the heat of the and the center of the battle is over. Now we're going back to the other point of view, which is like still in the war, but far away. Or like not the war, I'd say the attack. But yeah, it was very epic, but I do want to make more progress in my TBR. That's why I decided to put this down for the day and continued with 11/22/63. I know I told you I would probably do a little bit more and then update you, but guys, let's just say I am reading two amazing books at the moment and I'm so conflicted because I want to read both at the same time because I just cannot like physically put it down. But I thought, you know what, before I get too into it, I want to update you a little bit on what I think about 11/22/63. It was crazy. I don't even know what I've told you and what I have not because I cannot stop talking about this book to anyone who would listen to me rambling about this book. But pretty much this book, we are following Jack, which is in 2011, and he is an English teacher, right? And then he has his friends or like his acquaintances, I guess his buddies, and then he met this guy called Al. He owned this diner and he showed Jack that his pantry is basically like a magical portal to the past, time travel, to, I think, is it 63? I'm not sure. I think the 60s, if I'm not wrong. But pretty much what we know about this is that you can really change the past. So he goes back and then he knows this student of his because he's an English teacher who experienced a very traumatic childhood, let's just say it like that. And he was like, you know what, I'm going to test this. And he went back in time and fixed the narrative, so to say. And let's just say it fixed itself. I think you need to come into this book a little bit blindly because I did not read the blurb at all. As far, like, all I know about this book is that there's time travel and this guy's gonna go back and, in a way, change history. So you don't really know, right, what's gonna happen. But oh my gosh, in the way that it is written, in the way that it is explained, our main character, I just love every single aspect of this. I was kind of nervous getting into this because I was like, I don't know a lot about American history because I do not live in the US or really follow the American history or have had, I don't know, American history lesson, really. Like, I know about JFK, I know about 9/11, I know about like the major history of Vietnam War, whatever it is, right? But I don't know the nitty gritty details of each and every single like aspect of it. And there is a section where our friend explained to our main character all about this like history thing correlating to JFK. And I was like, okay, you're explaining it to me as if I were to understand all this, and I do not. But it did not make the book less enjoyable in a way. I love this book so far. Even from the first page, I think already sends like a 5-star read from this. So yeah, I'm really excited to finish this eventually in the next few days. How many pages? I am currently page 330. There's I think the book is 740, so I'm like 50 pages under halfway, so to say. So I'm making really good progress considering I started this like 2 days ago, I think. So it was very, very good. With the Sword of Kaigen, I think I'm gonna stop it for a sec, but I just love the background of Misaki's character. Like, Misaki is the mom, and I love how vivid it is. Like, how some characters are difficult and how they're like struggling with their feelings, and it's like a lot of family problems, a lot of like corruption in the government and brainwashing and so on and so forth. So it's really, really interesting. It's very political. And I guess I am reading two very political books, but I think the difference is, I think with 1120 to 63, it's like speculative, right? What if you can stop the assassination of JFK? And obviously, in the end, you will see what happened in 2011 when in 63 JFK was not murdered. So I think in a way it is speculative fiction, but I think it's called literary suspense. Is that a genre? I'm not sure actually. But this one is definitely fantasy. There is like a whole race, let's just say it like that, who can control and make, what is it called? Storms. And even I think our main character, like Momoru, he can wield, or he has like this ice blood, oh no, ice water kind of power, and he knows how to clot blood, and he knows how to like heal, so on and so forth. But pretty much it is like very fantasy. So yeah, I think that's why reading two of these is not really, I don't feel like it's too heavy, too political in a way. So I'm just gonna continue making progress in both of this. But now I'm updating you because I've reached like some turning points in the story for both of them, and I thought I could take a break and start a different book, which is Crescent City. So I'm gonna start this and see how far I can progress. So let's go ahead and read Crescent City. So I have just finished 11/22/63. I mean, not just finished. I finished it like last night, I think. I fully understand the hype. Do I want to pick up other books by him? Yes. Am I happy that I finally finished what? A Stephen King's book, or can finally cross out something in my reading goal? Also, yes. But yeah, I don't know what to say. It's just like for someone who does not know like a lot, I know that major things, I know like really important things, but I don't know like the details, why this person is much better in this. Um, I feel like it's still very informative. I know lots of things about the American history around 63, or like around, wait, I think it's like 59 to 63 roughly. Really, really enjoyed that. And the ending was, I think it was probably the best ending that could happen. Was I happy with the ending? I am not sure. Probably not really, but I don't think you're supposed to be happy with the ending because of things that are happened. I don't know. I cannot tell too much obviously because I don't want to give you guys spoilers. You guys need to like go and read this blindly because it's what I did, and I truly truly adored this book. I think this book is definitely like a 5 star for me. I got the 5 star feeling immediately. And I know like some things in the middle I got a bit lost because I truly don't know the history around that time, especially American history. So I think you don't need to read up to be able to read this. I just like read along the way, and if I don't know anything and that something is really important or detrimental to the plot, then I have to look it up. But I do not. But I feel like I'm the type of person who do not mind to look up things that appears in books because I don't know. I just find it really interesting. So yeah, the ending was mind blowing. The ending was sad, and it got a little bit very like, wait, where is this heading? Like this story. But I think it was a good ending. Let's just keep it at that. I don't know how to explain it, but I think I already told you what it's about. I love Stephen King's prose. I feel like they're so clear, so vivid, so beautifully written. And I just want to pick up more books by him. But I am such a wimp. I cannot pick up like a horror book, because I do want to try and read it. But the movie, I watched it like twice, I think. I was scared. I'm not good with horror movies. I mean, when I read thriller books, I do get creeped out. So I don't know if I'm gonna fare well with horror books. So we shall see. But I do want to pick up other books by Stephen King that is not really horror, so to say. So we shall see. But so I'm gonna pick up the next book, and obviously I only have 3 days to film because this video has to come out on the 24th, and it's the last book. The last video on bookmas. The last video on bookmas. And I still have 2 massive books that I need to read and 3 Christmas parties to go to. So we shall see how much we get to. If not, then I will probably post a short on what I think about each book, obviously. But the book that I will be starting is Crescent City / I already started it. I am like chapter 3. I'm not that far in. Like literally, my accent. Literally, 11/22/63. I could not put it down. Like all the time, all I want to do is just read. Like either read physically, or when I like have to do something, I'm like, no. I need literally to listen to this book because it was so good, and it was like I cannot put it down pretty much. But yeah, I'm gonna try and pick this one up. It's gonna be a long read. I have the audiobook for this as well, or I can get the audiobook for this as well. So because we're gonna do lots of errands in the next few days because it's approaching Christmas, I am gonna have a listen, have a read, and so on and so forth. But I'm not sure if I'm gonna manage to finish Onyx Storm. We shall see. Obviously, I think 22nd and 23rd I am pretty free. Not really. I am semi-free. So we shall see if I can get some reading in. But if I'm not done with Onyx Storm or Indigo Ridge, then I guess it just has to be another reading vlog that you see in January. But I will 100% finish this yearly TBR. Don't you worry. But yeah, honestly, I feel like now I'm in like post 5-star blues, and I just really hope that Crescent City is also a 5-star because it's a long book. So in order for me to get that 5-star feeling after finishing the book, it's gonna take a while, but either way, it's gonna be fine. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do a little bit more reading for Crescent City. I'm gonna have to clean up the place though. As you guys could see, it's very messy. So I'm gonna clean it up. And what else? I'm gonna read Crescent City for a little bit before I have to attend a Christmas party today at lunch and tonight, Christmas dinner. And I need to prepare something for tomorrow. I'm gonna bake a lot. You guys gonna see me bake a banana bread, and also I want to bake sugar cookies, but we shall see if I have time to film it because I just need to do it ASAP. Either way, not complaining. I love the Christmas season, and I feel like baking always puts me in a good Christmas spirit or festive feeling. So yeah, I need to stop procrastinating and go ahead and start my day. So let's go ahead and start our day. Hello everyone, I know I'd be looking very rough right now, but I just had a few Christmas parties back to back in the past few days, and not gonna lie, very tired indeed. But what I've noticed today is that today is the 22nd of December, and obviously that's super close to Christmas, and this video is supposed to come up tomorrow. Have I edited any of the footage that I've taken, I don't know, in the past 2-3 weeks? Nope. So I think I might have to end the vlog here. But before that, obviously, we're gonna talk a little bit about Crescent City because this is how far in I am. Will I finish my TBR before the end of the year? Yes, because I still have a week and a half before the year ends, but the vlog has to come out tomorrow. And I completely forget about that fact that this is for bookmas and this is not just like a typical Friday video because I always upload my videos on Fridays. So yeah, I think like let's go through the logistics because I told you that I do want to show you me finishing my yearly TBR, and obviously it's not going to happen in this vlog, but in some January vlogs I'm going to insert me talking about how I feel about Crescent City or like reading footages that I have, whatever, of 3 books: Crescent City, Onyx Storm, and Indigo Ridge, because those are the 3 books that I meant to finish in this vlog. But as you guys know, it's Christmas season. It's so difficult, I think, to really plan your time perfectly around this time because it's so hectic and it's so out of control, or out of your control, pretty much, or my control. So that's why I have not had enough time to really read this book. Although from the, I don't know how many pages I've read. 1 second. Actually, I've made quite a bit of progress. Considering I had so many things to attend to, I've read 160 pages. Am I loving it? Honestly, I do love the setting up so far. That is like, there are the houses, I guess. There are houses and they're in this city, in this planet where like just creatures are everywhere. And like obviously we are in House of Earth and Blood, and our main character Bryce is in there. And Sky and Breath houses like different kind of creature. I think our male main character, Hunt, his name, Runt Atahar, Alahar, I'm not quite sure. Athalar. Yeah, Hunt Athalar. So I think he's from House of Sky and Breath, if I'm not wrong. But it is quite interesting to read like the magic system so far, because Bryce is half fae and Hunt is, I think, a fallen angel, if I'm not wrong. And then obviously we had her best friend, Danica, which was Vanir, so like werewolves. There are vampires, there are demons. So it is a very interesting world so far. I'm really intrigued. All I want to do, honestly, is just sit down and read more of this. I have been doing lots of that. I think that this 160 pages was honestly done in 2 sittings, if I'm not wrong. I'm loving it so far, loving it than I thought I would, because truly I was nervous getting into this because it is an urban fantasy, and I don't know personally if I love urban fantasy yet, because I've never tried it. And it's not because like I've tried one book, like urban fantasy style, and then I was like, no, 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 it's too much. And then, so it's like, I'm not sure if I like urban fantasy, but I don't think I've fully gotten into urban fantasy at all. So this would be like my first full on urban fantasy, which if I love, then I'm open to a whole new sub genre, which I'm excited for that. I think honestly it's quite sad that that I'm not done with all my yearly TBR this late in the month. But I know that last year I finished it on New Year's Eve. So still a lot of time for me before that time comes. I know once Christmas is over, it is honestly more relaxing and I would have basically nothing to do really, which I am so excited for that. And yeah, so I'll be reading more of this, and obviously Onyx Storm, and also Indigo Ridge, because that's book club book of the month. But other than that, I think that might be it for this vlog. I know it was very sporadic. I finished a classic. I think in hindsight, Dracula in 11/22/63 is not really a priority, but it was from the books list, or from the list of books that I picked out. Those two are the books that I want to continue most, so that's why I continued it. But obviously now in my actual yearly TBR, it's only Crescent City and Onyx Storm. So I'm gonna focus on those two and then go to Indigo Ridge, unless I really need a palate cleanser in between. We shall see. But should I tell you actually what Crescent City is about? At least from what I know so far, because I don't think it's a spoiler yet. Okay, so I don't know more than what the blurb has told me so far, I guess. After this, maybe it would get more into what happened. But pretty much we're following our main character Bryce, who's half Fae. And like I said, her best friend is Danica, which is a Vanir. And obviously we're just following her, doing her day-to-day stuff. And one day she was like, oh, I'm gonna go party out without her because she's gonna do things with her pack members, right? So she did. She, by the way, Danica is one of the strongest werewolves there are so far. Even from birth, people already like, oh, she's gonna amount to great things because of her blood, her sheer talent, so on and so forth, right? But yeah, one night after she went partying, she went back. Danica and Bryce, they're roommates. She went back to her place, found the whole member of the pack gone, dead. They're so lethal, this pack. They're just dead. And then she noticed there was like someone running outside. Someone or something. Like a demon, I think so far. That's what I've known so far. And so she chased it, and then this demon hurt. Is it an angel, if I'm not wrong? Could be an angel. And so she's heavily traumatized. That's that. And then the case closed, like connected to this like one criminal that was set loose by the, I don't know what the council is called, like the higher ups of the government people, whatever, right? So they put him back in prison, in jail, whatever it is. That's when Bryce, our main character, met our male main character, which is Hunt, because through all this like tragic thing that happened to her, obviously, like her whole entire life uprooted. Like she loved Danica, and she's like, they're like not just best friends, they're pretty much family, and like with this pack member as well, right? And they've known each other for so long. So the fact that your whole entire friend group and your support system and your family, they all died at the same time while she's just out partying and they were being slaughtered. That was like, it was really hard on her. So she was like, she's going into trauma response, trauma state, whatever it is. And then there's a time jump of 2 years. And then now, apparently, the murder pattern of Danica's wolf pack, or like, yeah, the pack members, started to reemerge again. And obviously the mayor is like, no, 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 no. This very important person is going to come to my city and I'm not going to let the murderer thing happen again. So I'm going to pair you up, Bryce and Hunt. Figure it out. And obviously for Bryce to finally know what happened, and for Hunt, there's a different like stakes to it, I guess. He's like, if I'm not wrong, he's a fallen angel, I think. I could be very wrong in this. I feel like it was explained, but whether I fully understand what got explained, I'm not sure. Right? So he's a fallen angel because something happened. Right? So he needs to atone to the archangel, and to atone is to do what the archangel wants pretty much from him. So in order to do this, his atonement, so to say, is going to go down. And he can be finally free and not be, like, bound to this, I don't know, atonement thing. So that is like the stakes for both. Obviously, both are very crucial, very important. That's why they're like putting their lots of their time and passion and effort, whatever, to this. And I assume that it's gonna be quite an epic romance, which I'm really excited because I don't think I have read romance recently. No, not really. So yeah, it is very interesting. I think I like it so far. Honestly, I'm less interested in the plot with Akatar than this one, so I have good feelings about this. I think with Throne of Glass, I was already pretty invested at this point, so I really hope that this is a new favorite for me and that I can just binge the other two books. But yeah, so that is pretty much what I've known so far from House of Earth and Blood. And I'm going to continue reading and obviously going to continue updating you, but not in this video. I'm going to, like I said, put it in a different vlog sometime soon. You'll see it. But yeah, either way, thank you guys so much for watching. I think this vlog might be very sporadic. I don't think I even updated you a lot on things because it got very, very stressful and busy the past few days, the past few weeks, if I can be completely honest. But yeah, I really enjoyed this year of reading. I know this is not the last vlog you'll be seeing. On the 24th, you will be seeing me trying to get things ready for Christmas and just like do random bits and bobs. Thank you guys so much for watching. I have lots of editing to do now. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming along bookmas with me. It was so much fun and I hope to do it again next year. But other than that, happy Christmas Eve if you are celebrating, and if not, happy holidays. So yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day and I will catch you tomorrow for the last video of the year. Goodbye.